Hey, Chris Jenkins, credentialed member of the media covering the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe, aka Man of the People. Why? Because I love working for fans of the Carolina Panthers, and this show is live for a reason. I like to be interactive. You're always invited on the show, which, I hope some of you join me tonight. We're just going to do some rapid reaction, quick reaction, if you will, to the Carolina Panthers 2023 football season finally being announced. Even though these days, to me, it's kind of funny that we have to wait until 8 o'clock for the official, because every single year, it seems like well before 8 o'clock, you know what all the big time matchups are, right? But nevertheless, it's all official now. We have the complete 17-week schedule that we're going to go through step by step. I invite you guys and girls to, again, jump on. There's a link that's in the description on how to click on and come in, share a comment or two. That'll be great. And as always, a quick little favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, help us continue to grow. The more we grow, the bigger we grow, the more that we can do for you. And here's a very good reason to subscribe if you have not already done so. Rookie minicamp starts tomorrow, and I will be there. So if you want to know what all I observe and see at rookie minicamp with that number one pick, Bryce Young, and all the other people that have been drafted by this Carolina Panthers team, make sure you hit the subscribe button, because I will go live tomorrow to let you know, and as well as Saturday, because there's 2 days. It's going to be Friday and Saturday that they have rookie minicamp, and yours truly will be there covering team. What's up, Josh? I see that Josh has signed on. He says keep pounding. So yeah, without further ado, we're just going to take our time, go through this schedule. I know a lot of people are NBA fans as well. I know I don't watch too much NBA, but come the playoffs, I'm locked in. And right now, Philly and Boston are in the game, trying to see who's going to make it to that second round. Let me see if I can give you an NBA playoff game update. What's up, Chris Johnson? Currently, the Boston Celtics are up 46-34 against the Philadelphia 76ers. So that's currently what's going on there. But let's go ahead and talk about this Carolina Panthers football schedule. See if I can bring it up here properly. Here we go. Here's our 2023 football schedule. So we got some preseason games, which will be against the Jets, the Giants, and the Detroit Lions. So it's a lot of New York. It's a lot of New York up in those first couple of weeks. And there's some interesting things about that preseason schedule that's going to come back into the regular season, which we're going to talk about as well. What's going on? 4 more. Appreciate you joining us. Let me see. I got some graphics. See if I got my graphics ready. I don't have all my graphics ready, so we won't get too fancy this week with graphics, even though I should have a few. Yeah, look at that. We got a few. We got a few graphics that we'll put out there today. But nevertheless, let's go ahead and jump in and talk about this schedule that we have for this Carolina Panthers team. Week 1, September the 10th, 1 o'clock. Everything that's in white is a road game. Black is a home game. So you see right there, Carolina Panthers are opening with an away game against an NFC South opponent. And opening up against NFC South opponents has not been something that happens a lot for us recently. So we're going to get right into it. Some critical games right out the gate for our playoff contention. And I know that I've heard Bryce Young is a student of the game. So it's going to be really important that this team, which it's not that I'm thinking that there's any doubt about it, but it's going to be really, really important that he is pretty familiar with things so they can come out. And right out the gate, we have some important games. I mean, each week you're going to hear players say it's important. But, man, it's a little bit more scary when you start off and you get behind the 8 ball with divisional opponents. So we start off on the road against NFC South Atlanta Falcons. Really good game last year in Atlanta, which went into overtime. P.J. Walker thought was going to end it with that pass to DJ Moore. Didn't happen, and we end up losing in overtime to some not so good kicking with the Carolina Panthers, but they've gotten that together. Week 2, look at this. Week 2, you notice week 1 is the game for week 2 is 8 days after the game for week 1. That's right. We are going to have a Monday night football home opener here in Charlotte as the Carolina Panthers will take on the New Orleans Saints. So that's exciting. I'll give up a first game being at home for a nice little primetime game. Open up the season Monday night in Charlotte against a good divisional rival and the New Orleans Saints. That game will be at 7:15. So right off the bat, 2 games against divisional opponents. So we're going to know where we stand pretty quickly in terms of getting that playoff contention, because these 2 teams that we played the first 2 weeks, we're going to come back and play them again. So we're starting to get a pretty good indication about the playoff possibilities. And then we go all the way to the West Coast. This is going to be their furthest trip of the year, as the Carolina Panthers will travel back to Seattle, game that they were victorious in last year, and take on the Seattle Seahawks. That game will be a 4:05 start because it's going to be on the West Coast. Guess what? That is going to be their biggest travel game of the season. They don't go any further than they will for that game right there. I'm going to try to do a picture-in-picture here. Let's see if I can get it right. Did I get it right? Let's see here. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to see if I can have myself up here. All right, so I'll give up on that because I don't. All right, so that didn't work for me. I was trying to see if I can make myself be a picture-in-picture so I could, be on the side. I'm sure there's a way, but I didn't get it together quick enough for you there. Let's see some comments here. Lord Beazle Dwarf. Let's go whooping up on the Falcons first week of the season. Perfect first game for Bryce to shine. Hey, I wouldn't be mad at. I wouldn't be mad at. Potential to start the season at the top of the division. Sure is. It sure is. It's certainly potential to start tied for first. We got 2 other games or 3 other. I'm not sure what the other NFC South schedule is, but it could be either 1 or 2 other games in that NFC South to see where we would stand for the division. But yeah, that would be pretty darn cool if we are able to start off at the top of the division, and exciting right there. So let's continue to look at this schedule. We got a week 4 matchup back home against the Minnesota Vikings. And then right away, we go back on the road for 2 more games. October the 8th against the Detroit Lions. October the 15th against the Miami Dolphins. So right off the bat, we're going to have 4 road games and 2 home games right there quickly at the beginning. That's 4 road games and 2 home games at the beginning of the season before we have a bye week. That is early. Actually, let me share some news with you guys, because I'm always personal. I think that's one of the reasons some of you like the show. There's another Jenkins that's coming. So we found out just Tuesday. The family continues to expand, and we have a baby girl that is going to be coming. Our first girl of the family is going to be due in October. So let me look back at the schedule and see. Oh, the baby's due. Hold on, let me get. The baby is due during the bye week. I wish my wife was around to share the excitement. Commissioner, on behalf of the Jenkins family, I want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart that you thought enough of me and this Carolina Panthers team and Bryce Young to give us a bye week during the birth of my daughter. Appreciate you. So there's a personal note news update for you guys here. But 4 games on the road. Bryce Young is going to be important. Again, to have him be comfortable in the saddle pretty quickly, because you open on the road, Then you got a primetime game, and then you got a mixture of home and away games, with most of them being away. And then you even travel all the way out to Seattle, which is a pretty long trip, to take on the Seattle Seahawks. So, this team is going to be tested pretty quickly coming out the gate with that schedule lineup. And I'm all here for it. I'm waiting to see it. All right. Few congratulations. Thank you guys very much. Thank you guys very much. I like to share what's going on in my life with you all, so appreciate you. And what do we got here? Honestly, don't like playing 2 division games right away before our team and coaches have a chance to gel. Yeah, Josh, I can't say it's the most favorite of things, but yes, right out the gate, they're going to be tested playing back-to-back games. Now, one good thing about it is whenever you have a rookie that comes into the league, yes, they have college film on him, and him being a #1 draft pick, I'm sure there's been so many analysis out there about his strengths, his weaknesses. But here's the advantage that the Carolina Panthers have. You don't know what they're going to do at the NFL level. You don't know what plays are going to call from him. You don't know how good he's going to look and what tricks, if you will, this team will have into that first couple of games. And it really takes a little bit more than that for teams to start to try to get a feel for a new guy. That's why it's not uncommon to see, it's not uncommon to see a rookie quarterback that's doing good come out and have a better first season than he does his sophomore year, because it takes a minute for teams to get caught up to them if they're coming out good. If they're going to be an elite type quarterback. Now, obviously, you got the other part in which if they're just, say, run of the mill average quarterback, then it's not really, you won't see that as much. But if Bryce Young comes out, does his homework, performs well, it actually works to their advantage, Josh, to have some games initially against the division, because you get a leg up on those guys pretty quickly, and you start to put yourself in a pretty good position. Anthony Rochelle, I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for joining us tonight. I hope you're doing well. Thank you, Chris Johnson. Appreciate it much. Lots of congratulations. I appreciate it. Mark Cummings, thanks, Chris, for your content. Always enjoy it. Again, I appreciate you all. You all make this channel 100%. Also, a quick reminder, we're independent media, supported 100% by you and your contributions, your donations, your support. So like, subscribe. I'll put some information on the screen in case anyone wants to help keep us going with, that needs to be a lot lower on the screen. Let's put it right there. Super chats, good way to support the channel, as well as Cash App. We have that available. But tomorrow starts rookie mini camp. Be my first chance to see Bryce Young up close and in person. I haven't seen him yet at any of the pressers, so I'll certainly be letting you know, because that's one of the things I talked about when we talked about the draft picks, is his size. And I know the picture that we put online about Bryce with Brian Burns, and he just looked so small. I actually still got it right here. See if we can add that to the screen real quick. Yeah. So I posted that, and I said, when I do get the chance to see him up person, then I'll provide a little bit more comment. So again, rookie minicamp starts tomorrow, and I'll be covering that. But tonight, we're going to be going over the schedule for the Carolina Panthers. So let's continue to move on and talk about this schedule. We're going to put it back up here. So Carolina Panthers play the Detroit Lions. I kind of skipped over this. I forgot to mention this. We play the Lions in Week 5. That will be our second time playing them, because you see we play them on August the 27th for our preseason game. And then we come right back on October the 8th and play them again, which is pretty cool. All right, so let's continue to move on here. After the bye week, we get into some good matchups. Well, I wouldn't say good matchups as if the other ones weren't good. But after the bye week, we face the Houston Texans, which is led by another very high draft pick in C.J. Stroud. So that's pretty cool there. C.J. Stroud, the second overall pick. And then we go to face the Indianapolis Colts. A little bit of a later game, so that's a 4 o'clock game here in Charlotte. So kind of a late game there. Playing the Indianapolis Colts. And guess who the Indianapolis Colts have? I'm sorry, hold on one second. They have Anthony Richardson. The Indianapolis Colts do. And so we get a little bit of a back-to-back home game after the bye week. So that takes us to week 10. And in week 10, the Carolina Panthers, man, we didn't have any primetime games last year. Two primetime games now with Bryce Young back there as our quarterback starting for the season, which isn't official. I know I'm saying starting. I can't officially say that because he's not the official starter. We're going to start off with Dalton first, and then we will go to Bryce. I feel like it should happen before week 1, but right now I just really want to go over talking about the schedule. Don't want to talk about that yet, but I will talk about that plenty of times. Hold on, break it, boom. The graphics I thought would be different. I gotta fix some graphics. I gotta do more for the people that do the super chats. Got our first super chat of the season, the new season, from Fourmore with $1.99. Appreciate it. Hey, anything that you guys do, tremendous help. I want to travel to more of the games this season to continue to bring you the content to be able to go into the locker room right afterwards. I want to be able to take my co-host, Andre Cassidy, on some more games because it really helps when I have two people to get content and talk. You know, last year we started after, I think about midways through the season. Last year we started going, instead of me taking time to get content together and going live like maybe an hour after the game, we got it down to about 20 to 30 minutes after the game last year. We'd get out on the field, get everything set up, and go live from the field and take your questions and talk about the game. There is no other place that you're going to get that kind of content that long, that immediate, and that interactive after the game than at Charlotte Vibe. So please consider hitting that subscribe button and donate whenever you can. We really appreciate it. Appreciate that much for more. But let's continue to rock on through this schedule. So November 9th in Chicago, Thursday Night Football, we have a matchup against the Chicago Bears, Justin Fields, as well as we will get a chance to see DJ Moore going against his former team. And I'm sure it'll be fun, but I'm going to just tell you right now, you're not going to get a lot of clips from DJ Moore that's going to get bulletin board material for this Carolina Panthers team. It ain't going to happen. DJ Moore is he's a very humble, kind of soft-spoken guy, just likes to go out there and do his thing. But it will be great to see the team go up against him, see some old teammates, see some old coaches, and see it in prime time in Chicago on a Thursday night. Great stadium up there in Chicago, great view of the city. Look forward to going to that game as well. So let's continue to rock through this schedule. Hit the like button if you hadn't already done so, all right? And then in week 12, we travel. I'm sorry, I'm skipping. I'm getting too excited. We come back. We play the Dallas Cowboys November the 19th. And then we go back on the road. Look at this, guys. Look at this. We go back on the road 3 consecutive games. 3 consecutive games on the road. Don't like it. That's tough, but it is what it is. First, week 12 is going to be November 26th against the Tennessee Titans. That is a team that drafted Will Levis with the 33rd overall pick. He went on day 2. So you see right there, we're already going to play the other top 3 quarterbacks that were drafted in the draft with those matchups against the Texans, the Colts, and the Tennessee Titans and those guys. So that'll be cool. I'm sure that's cool. This is a good schedule for the Carolina Panthers. I like it, except for these 3 games in a row that we're on the field. I'm sorry, on the road. Then we travel to Tampa Bay on December the 3rd. And then we play what will be, I think this is our first repeat game here against the New Orleans Saints. So that's going to be our first repeat of the division with playing the Saints right there on December the 10th. And then we play the Atlanta Falcons in Week 15. That date and time is not yet announced, so we'll have to wait and see for that. But let me stop. Let me stop for a second because I got to do this. Again, you guys will hear me talking about this more this year. Hopefully it won't be a bother to you, but independent media. What does that mean? It means I have nobody that I got to get approval from to go live and talk about anything. It means I get to have a lot of content focused exactly on what you all want to talk about. But it also means I don't have a sponsor from a car dealership or a jewelry store that's giving me thousands of dollars to help fund the site. So I need your contributions. We're also gonna break out a membership this season as well to help you guys support me and help me expand what I do. It's a passion of mine, but it's a business, and it takes some money to operate this thing. But Felix Graham, hit the like button, please. They won't let me hit it anymore. Felix Graham, thank you so much kindly for your support of the channel. Really appreciate it. Let's get back to this schedule stuff. And we got here, after we play the Falcons, so that'll be our second matchup against the Falcons. Then we travel. I'm sorry, not we travel. We have a home game. Christmas Eve, we have a home game against the Green Bay Packers at 1 o'clock. Now, normally that would mean that you'll get to see Aaron Rodgers, but not this year because he plays with the New York Jets. But, hey, first game preseason, New York Jets. Hey, do you think that Aaron Rodgers is going to play in that first game? What do you think? Do you think Aaron Rodgers plays in that first game, preseason game? I don't know. I guess we'll all find out. After that Christmas Eve game, we then have a New Year's Eve game in Jacksonville for the second year in a row. So last year we played Tampa Bay, so we were able to spend New Year's Eve in Tampa. This year it's in Jacksonville where we play the Jaguars. What a great place to be in Florida on Christmas Eve. On New Year's Eve. So it will be warm, but we got a New Year's Eve matchup against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then our final game of the season, similar to last season. Actually, I think this was the case, right? Am I wrong? I forget. No, I think it might have been close to the last game. But we played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Week 18, final game of the season. So we spread out our NFC South opponents pretty well at the top half. We play 2 right out the bat. Let's see. Where's the other NFC South game? When do we play the Bucs first? All right, so we come out the bat, 2 NFC South, and then kind of load it on the back end. Front end 2, and then the back end you have 1, 2, 3, 4 of your last 6 back against the NFC South. So that gives us some chance to, I like the schedule. I like it. So that's it. That's me running through the schedule. And now we'll spend a little bit more time seeing what questions and comments that you all may have as we finish it out. And for those of you that are nice enough to join me and miss out on a little bit of the NBA playoffs, I can tell you the current score at the half: Boston Celtics 50, Philadelphia 76ers 43. So the Celtics are winning as they try to even the series against the Philadelphia 76ers. So that's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. We'll get off here in a second, but let me see if there's any more comments here. Somebody says preseason, no way that we'll see Aaron Rodgers for the Jets. You're probably right. I know they haven't yet come out with the schedule in terms of who's going to play some, what they call it when they scrimmage against the other. I don't think they have. Or if they have, I certainly don't know it. But if the Jets have some preseason matchups where they have some joint practices, then yeah, it's probably not going to see Aaron Rodgers in that first game as he plays for the Jets. And Josh says, just keep Bryce out of preseason games. Don't want a corral situation. All right, we'll talk about that for just a few minutes. Just a few minutes. Don't play Bryce in the preseason to avoid him getting hurt. You can't do that, Josh. You can't do that. I see you have some the emoji here with crying, laughing. So you're probably joking. Hope you're joking, but you got to play. You got to play him. He has absolutely zero experience in the NFL, and they need reps. They need snaps. They need to get familiar. They need to get the communication. They need to get the audibles. They need to see how they're going to run routes. So many things that he needs to see and experience for the first time. He will be out there in the preseason, and I hope he's out there a decent amount. And he's smart. Like, at least tell him. And this is something that he has to develop regardless. Get rid of the ball quick so that you're not getting hit. All right, so we will see. I'll give everybody another moment to look and see if they got a question that they want to toss my way or a comment they want to toss my way. But again, if you have been hungry to know about the schedule and you've been on Twitter, you already knew what was coming in terms of the primetime games. It was just a matter now that you know the official order of the 17-week schedule. Pretty cool. All right, so I didn't see any other comments come through. I appreciate you all very, very much. Stay locked, stay tuned. It's going to be Bryce Young Central. All right. So that's it for now. Check one more thing before I get out of here. One more thing before I get out of here. Any other things I want to point out about this schedule? I don't think so. Any Panther Blazer just said any word on training camp. I'm not what particular. Again, rookie minicamp starts. Rookie minicamp starts tomorrow, and yours truly will be there covering the practice for you. All right, so that's it. Thank you all for watching. In the words of Russell Simmons, good night. God bless.